Hi folks, it's time to check in on Sophie and Everest, I guess. Sophie is 10 weeks old now, and a lot of changes actually kind of happening. She's getting a little harder to contain in her bin, and you see I don't have any heat source on her bin anymore. I really only had that on the first week. I didn't have that on last week either. And so she's definitely starting to get some character. She's taken about 3 flights, but only downward to the ground. So that's why I haven't caged her yet. She hasn't figured out how to fly up on the curtain rods or high up on the kitchen cabinets or anything yet. So I am just kind of, taking my time with her a little bit. I don't like to put them in a cage until the very last minute, really. I really like her sitting out here with me. And Everest, he gets to sit out a little bit now too. And he'll sit there. I'll let him sit there with Sophie. And but Sophie, she completely climbs out of this bin constantly. And then she gets into this little carrier, and then she plays with the paper towels. She chews up my weight logs. She had my Soundcore headphones in her mouth the other day. So I was like, whoa, Sophie, that's not gonna work. But that's my fault. I mean, you have to kind of remember to keep your eye on these birds when you got them out. I also did put I put a wooden chew toy in her bin the other day too, and so just to start to encourage her on a little bit. Let me adjust this thing, and I'm gonna see if I can grab Sophie, and we're gonna have to put me on blast here a little bit too. Let's see what we got. Okay, this is why I don't like to always do this. You see my hair, I'm having a bad hair day, and it's because I cut my own hair, and ever since COVID I've been cutting my own hair, and I just don't want to go to the barber shop. I just well, if I mess it up, you know what I think I did is not that y'all care really, but for me it's like a personal thing. I think I cut it a little bit too short to where it's like standing on end, almost like a flat top kind of a thing. So, but anyway, that's beside the point. So Sophie has been flying to me, which is kind of cool. She was sitting on my shoulder today. She will go on my arm and stuff now. She's getting pretty good. Sophie, you want to come up? You want to come up, babe? Come on. You gonna come? You gonna come? She just ate, so she's not hungry. She did fly across the kitchen onto the counter where I feed her. That is a sure sign of you got up late, and she's getting hungry, so she goes where she knows she's getting fed. Come on, babe. Come on. You stepping up now? Come on. She's actually is stepping up pretty good. Come on. Come here, baby. Up. Come on. Up. When I say pretty good, not like she's got the whole stepping up thing, but what I mean is when she's grabbing onto me, she's not clutching digging into my fingers so much. She's got like when I'm holding her, she's got kind of a light touch. So that's what I mean. She's doing pretty good with it for just starting out. She's still got the a little bit of wobbliness here. But she will come, like when she ventures out of her bin here, and I'm sitting on my stool at the computer around the corner here, she will climb up on me, and she's really cool. If I let her sit on my knee, you know, like this. Come on, babe. Go ahead. You're good. She's oh, there we go. Okay. So Everest, he's not doing anything. No, he's not ready to venture anywhere yet. But she's really good. You can see now. I mean, one of the things you might notice is she's not like her where she used to be kind of hissy. She's a lot less hissy now because why? Because the fear is going away. So that's where that hissing comes from, kind of a fear, and not really. I want to say not familiar with what's going on. So it's not terror, you know, but it's just a little anxiety, you know. And but she's a good girl now. She's really doing pretty good. She'll sit, and you know what? Like if I put her like this, and I got my leg kind of sitting up, just for the sake of the video. But I put my leg down, she'll sit, or if I put her on my arm, you need a spit bath here, don't you? Huh? Let's get that food off of you. Here, why don't you come up on my arm? This will make it easier. Come on, babe, up here. There we go. Yes, good girl, good girl. There we go. So, okay, let's put it, let's just put it a little bit. Well, there you go. That's her comfort zone right there. She climbs out of her bin onto this thing, and this is where she gets fed, right? So she knows this little thing. It's kind of like just a little comfort zone for her. So you know, so we got a lot of growth going on here. This at 10 weeks old is when things really start to happen, because she's starting to take a few flights, and she's getting more independent, aren't you, babe? See, she didn't even flinch at that or do like any hissing or anything like that. She's still a little bit leery of coming over her head like that, but she's starting to like that, you know. And when she figures out, oh, you're gonna pet my head, okay, yeah, I'm all in for that, you know. So. Oh, she's really turning pretty. Look how pretty her crest is getting. And you know, and this is, I don't know if you can see this or not, but you still see these little tufts of her original down from her hatching. And like, oh, I got some animals in the yard. It might be a deer or something. Let me check it. You guys, hey, Loki. Oh, they're going wild. It's a cat. It's a big yellow tabby cat, and okay, they're definitely watching the property, you know. So here's the kids. Oh, you know what was interesting the other day is Sophie flew down, and one of the new dog, the Corgi Pom mix, the new dog, he just licked her. They had an introduction. She was sitting on my leg, and he came up, and but when he flew down right down to her, he wasn't aggressive at all. He just kind of like licked on her, and he knew she's baby, because they know because I talk baby talk to them all the time, right? So, and they know that when I talk to them also, that it's like, you know, there's two dogs, so I'm, come here, baby, you're my baby, you're a good boy, you're a good girl. So they know I'm kind of teaching them as far as the leader of the pack here that I'm the leader and you guys need to behave and stuff like that. And you need to be good to the baby. Yes, you need to be good to my babies. And these two, she'll probably go in the cage a little bit sooner than he's ready to go into the bin. So I actually put him in the bin the other day and that was just too crowded. I'm like, nah, this is not right. So you're always trying to figure out what's the best thing to do here. They're just a little bit kind of far apart. He still has a heat source on him, but I've been gradually turning it down from the 90s to about 85 degrees now. And she's definitely acclimated to the house and like that. There was a little bit of I don't want them trying to feed each other because I don't know. I just don't think that's the right thing to allow. As far as behavior, I don't want that kind of behavior going on. So I'm just thinking that's not the best thing. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. Everest, you a good boy? He's a fussy eater. So that sometimes gets more difficult at this age where, when they're real little, they just take the syringe. When they start to get bigger, it's like, I'm not really that hungry. Sometimes you have to skip a feeding to induce a little hunger there, or go a little longer between feedings. But he's not ready for 2 feedings a day yet. Either is she really, and so I'm still at 3 feedings a day for both of them. And she's starting to get fresh food and seeds and pellets and nuts, mix almonds and hazelnuts and little stuff like that to see if she'll try to chomp on anything, which she hasn't realized the power in her beak yet. And that's why I say for babies this young, they really don't have a biting response. They haven't really learned the power of their beak yet. But once they figure all that out and they get ticked off at something, then they'll use it, like especially like with each other. Like I told you, like if someone steps on their back, oh, that is you can hear the scream of you're not doing that. You can hear the yell. It's like they let out a yell, and it stops the other bird. So, which is good. Which is actually for humans, that's a good reminder too. If a bird bites you or something like that, give out a yell. Don't sit there and think you have to man up about it. Give a yell, and that will startle them to stop, to lay off most of the time. That they, even with each other, when they go in and somebody's biting or pulling on somebody's feather or whatever, the other one lets out a yell and they let go. So I mean, just a little tip if you got a biter, or if it just happens for some reason. But like I said, they're just babies. They don't really have that biting response yet. Only the feeding. And they haven't realized the power of these beaks, but once they unleash that power, I mean, I don't know. Usually, even when I give my babies away to the new home when they're weaning age 18 to 20 weeks, they still haven't bitten anybody. They still haven't really learned that yet. They might start chewing wood by then. They're like the toys that I put in the cage and things like that. So it's I don't know at what point where they're really going to lay in a bite to you, and you know what, it's all about personality too. They may not. I mean, I think it's always going to happen at some point for some reason, where they're just upset or scared or something like that. But you definitely don't get biters from me when they're being weaned and they're going home to you. That's something that you're going to teach them. I don't teach them. They're going to learn that from your house, not from my house. Because we're just babies here, right? Huh? Mwah. Work a baby, good baby girl. Mwah. They have to learn to take a little bit of that hugging and getting manhandled a little bit, you know. They learn to take some of that to be more tolerant of it. Come here, babe. Come here. You still being good? Yes. See, she's just feeling. What do you got going here? What do you got going? Fat fingers? Huh? Huh? Oh, Josie! How could we forget Josie? I'm surprised that these guys are so unaffected by all that noise. They don't get like, oh, what's going on? Josie's making noise, and he doesn't do it a lot. It's just maybe a couple of, like he did it this morning, and he hasn't really done it. He's been quiet all afternoon. This is the first time, which is kind of weird. I fed him about 15 minutes ago before I put the camera on and before I started talking, you know, if that's, so he had some food in there, and so it's not that he's hungry and he's trying to get my attention. He just has his times in the afternoon, and that's when I always choose to do my videos. So either I'm gonna adjust my timing and get into his schedule, or we're all just gonna have to bear with it. And that's usually what I do. It's just like, okay, bear with it, you know. So, all right, folks, the birds have been good today. We got a little bit of an update, and I thank you for listening, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.